Let's get into it. James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe here with another amazing video. Some very startling information, and it's not startling just for what it means for John Fetterman and what's going on with him after he had a stroke, which is a very sad thing. It makes you think about what's happening with other candidates. Now, you're about to hear his aide, one of his special assistants. His name's Luke. And he's going to be talking about what it's like to have to look after, in a sense, John Fetterman. Again, I always like to give this time to breathe. It came out a couple days ago, but it's for subscribers only, and I don't like to step on James O'Keefe's toes. I like to be respectful, so I like to give it time to breathe, everybody to see it, and then I bring it to you guys because although I have great respect for James, I also have great respect for the audience, so I want to bring you guys exactly what I said I would, which is all James O'Keefe content. So let's get into that really quick. But before I do, oh, you know what I'm going to do. I don't go a day without talking about this store. My wife made it, and I'm so proud of it. You have no idea. Well, I made this design. She made the site. You know about the Great Reset. Well, this is the Great Resist. Join the Great Resist and resist the Great Reset. We also have sold not for sale clothing, hoodies, t-shirts, kid sizes, all that good stuff. Show them that your soul's not for sale in style. And to anybody who's purchased anything off the website, you have no idea how much it means to us. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's get into the actual clip. And I'm going to talk about what this could actually mean for, again, it's very interesting because, you know, when it comes to John Fetterman, I mean, he's meant to be playing a role in the government. And by the sounds of this video, he is not fully the one playing this role. And what does that mean for other candidates who also have a bit of cognitive issues? Let's just get into the video real quick.
Whispering, they're like, yo, I got a call from the CNN, and like, you know, they want to do an interview, and they're like, okay, we're working on a topic, and they were like, well, we want to see, we want to talk about, like, you know, the lingering effects of his stroke, and it's like, we haven't had that conversation in like 6 months, because like, the only thing we want to talk about is pressure, because like, even if they want to talk about like policy and stuff, like that's great, but like, nobody still talks about like his stroke. Because like they know he's gonna slip up sometimes, and like this was a very bad time to slip up, and it's very high profile, and really stuff. But like, it's like, y'all, we have been through this like many times where y'all are like, oh, is John Fetterman f***ing up? And then like the same people that are freaking out about it get over it months later and realize that they're being assholes picking on him, and it's like, yeah, this looks f***ing bad. If lying or feeling like you're like hiding about your abilities, like you're never gonna get better. Like you have to be pretty fucking honest with yourself about like what you're struggling with, because like having that like it's gonna be like hanging and like it's gonna be like hindering any conversation or any improvement you have. It's like knowing that there's like something that you can't talk about versus just getting it out of the way.
Right.
Somebody else from our staff was like at the coffee shop and like texting the group like, John's just here by himself wandering around, like, where's Luke? And I was like, chill the out. Like, don't blow up my spot. Like, because I saw that and I like walked over and I was like, we're good. And like, but now John knows I'm following him, and I don't want him to think I'm following him all the time. So he'll like go into the cafeteria and I'll see him leave, and somebody will be like, he's going to the cafeteria. Like, dude, he's just want to FYI, because you might need to go with him. And I'm like, I got it. I'm like, so I'll give him some time, and I'll get up, and I was just like, maybe like 50, 100 feet behind him, and like, because like, I don't want to make him feel like he needs a babysitter.
Right.
But like, if somebody goes up to him and tries talking to him, and like, it's somebody important, and he's gonna start missing productive conversations. Like, my job is sort of like to like jump into his conversations and stuff.
So that is very, very interesting, right? His job is to kind of jump in, not let people really talk to him, Very, very interesting stuff. Now, what it makes me think of is, if that's what's going on with Fetterman, special assistant following him 50 to 100 feet behind him, making sure that he doesn't get into in-depth conversations with anybody who is of importance, or probably anybody really, period, in order to avoid the slip-ups, like he was saying, then what's going on with Biden? You know? Like, and this is not like an attack, but this is, Fetterman had a stroke, right? That's a very serious thing. A lot of people don't talk about it, but Biden had a surgery where they had to he had an artery leaking, and they had to cut his head. And the way it's been described is like they had to do like a serious cut and like either lift or shift part of his skull so they could get at this artery. And Biden's even recorded in an interview, or it might have been a press conference, where he was talking about, he's like, what's the odds of me being normal after this? And they said something like, like pretty low. And he seemed nervous about it. It was the old Biden that was talking when he was saying all this, and now he's the way he is. And it's because of that surgery. It's not just because he's old. It's because he's old, of course, but it's because of that surgery that he really got the way he is. So when going back to my point, what's happening with him? Fetterman has 1, 2, 3 special aides. Biden's probably completely insulated by people. He's probably allowed to talk to no one. It's probably under like anytime he talks to somebody, like people are probably all around him, pulling him away. President has something important to talk about. President has something important to do. He can't talk to this. So it makes me think, and I'm not talking about a shadow government, but really, who's making the decisions that the president is supposed to be making? That's what it makes me think of. Who's really making those decisions? Is it Kamala? It's not so bad. I mean, it's terrifying, but it's, at least that's like the next ranking person. Is it aides? Are there aides around him making decisions? Special assistants? Who's actually making the decisions that he's supposed to be making? How insulated is he really? How many things, how many topics that are going on in the world is he really the deciding factor of? Or is he just being pulled around and it's like a speech here, you're going to talk about this, here's everything you're going to say, here are the questions, here's who's going to ask them? Like, is it all just that? Is he literally just a figurehead? Because that's terrifying. And my last point would be, if you do have these type of issues, it has nothing to do with your age or your race or your sex or your gender or anything. But if you're not cognitively there, able, then you shouldn't be able to be in the position. There should be some kind of test. Like Fetterman, like you have a stroke, it's like they should be able to kind of, we're part of a special department. We're going to talk with this gentleman for a while, see if he's really up to the task, because, the lives of American people are at stake. And in the other case I was just talking about with Biden, the whole country's at stake. So we have to talk to this person and make sure that they're all there and they're okay. I don't know. It's just something that came to mind when I saw this video, because it's just like, wow, what's going on with Fetterman? Like, this guy's making all the decisions for him, making sure that he doesn't talk to people, like he walks, and picture this properly, because you have an aide who's following him 50 feet behind him. Then someone calls that aide and says he's going to the cafeteria. It's almost like a bunch of people, like play by play, are watching everything he's doing. It's almost like a prison, but instead of bars, it's people that are, encaging you. It's very, very odd. Very odd. And, no one should have to live like that at the end of the day. And it might be hard to have to break it to someone that, like, hey, you can't be in this position anymore. You can't be doing this anymore. But it would be better for them and better for America. I don't know. Just made me think of that. But yes, James O'Keefe at it again. Honestly, I think in the future, if not near future, we're going to see laws made because of what James O'Keefe is doing. We're going to see a lot of acts put in place, which we're already seeing with the Dead Zombie Act that's happening right now because of his investigation into Act Blue. We're going to see a lot of things change and because of James O'Keefe. I really do think that what he's doing right now is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, and his army of citizen journalists. Can't forget them. He's at the head of it, but there are many, many people who are faceless and nameless, who are willing to put themselves, again, I've brought it up before, put themselves in potential danger. That young lady who's on that date with that guy, she might have not gave her real name, but he knows what she looks like. And he might be a senator one day. He might be a vice president one day. He might be Secret Service one day. He might be FBI one day. He might be CIA one day. He might be someone one day. Homeland Security one day. You know, they're literally putting their lives on the line potentially. But like the video. Likes help so much. Thank you so much if you do like it. If you don't, hey, don't leave yet. It's right there. It's right there. Where is it? Where is it? Show me where it is. Touch it real quick. All right, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about all this. Do you think that there's people making decisions that shouldn't be making the decisions, and it's all because these gentlemen are in this cognitive decline? And if so, what should be done about it? Let me know in the comments. Other than that, I am out.